So today we're going to go through how you could make the spreadsheet for keeping track of heart health. And remember, that was where you spent 15 minutes and at certain intervals you would take your pulse, your heart rate. So let's look at the sheet that we're working with. Okay, and so we want our spreadsheet to look like this. Activity, rest. If you haven't done this before, this is a good activity. So we look at the top one and we see that activity takes row 1 and row 2, and then time it takes the rest of row 1. And then row 2, you see how this is cell 1, this is cell 2, cell 3. So let's see if we can recreate that with our spreadsheet. So up here we look how many cells do we need up here. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So time is from column 1 to column 13. Okay, so go over here. So it's good to use your select and the shift key. So there's column 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. So then we go here and you see this place that says merge cells. So we're going to merge those cells together. So merge those cells together, and that's going to be our time there. So we type time in here, but what happens, well, it's rather dismayingly over to the left. So we go up to here, the horizontal line, and we say we'll center it. So you see how we use the center one, and that puts time in the center. Let's go back to our document and preview, and we see that we have activity goes down there, but then we have in 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5. Okay, so we're going to have 2 and 3 is going to be a cell. And we go back to that merge cells. 3 and 4, or sorry, 4 and 5. So F and G, 5 and 6. Merge cells. Merge cells. Merge cells. Okay. And you can make this show up a little better if you highlight the cells, and then you see where this borders is. Click on borders, and we put the borders in. And now you can see a little better what we're doing. Go back to preview, and we say what goes in there. Okay, so 0, 0, rest, 1 minute, 2 minute, 5, 10, 15. So let's add that in. So 0, 0, rest, 1 minute, 5 minutes, oh, 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, and once again, now let's use what we learned. So we highlight those cells, and we say, in terms of horizontal align, let's use the middle. So now we've got them in the middle. Go back to our preview, say, oh, activity. So you can see how activity was these two. So we merge those cells, and we type activity in there. Okay, so we have activity in there, and so we do the align there, and then we go to vertical align. We have that. If we go back to our document, so you see how we have beats, 10 seconds, and then beats per minute. And that's going to be a repeating pattern. Beats, 10 seconds, beats per minute. Okay, and we're going to have a formula for that. Okay, so I got a typo in there, 10 seconds. Let's get it set up the way we want. So we want it to be centered. Horizontally, we center it. So, okay, that looks good. So you see how we've got these two highlighted. So we do a Control C, and then a Control V. Controls. So we keep Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay. So we're going to enter our data. We're going to say keep our data. So let's make the activity a little bit wider. So let's say that we have the activity walking, skipping rope, walking stairs. Okay, so you could walk stairs at your house, for example, up and down the stairs. And so now let's make everything a little bit bigger. It'll show up better. So make things a little bigger. Be able to see better. And I think what we could do is we could highlight all the cells here. And then if you right click, you can resize columns. And let's make them into 200. Okay, so much more visible now. Now, what do we want to put in the beats per minute? So let's say that after 10 seconds, I've measured 10 heartbeats. Well, we don't have to do the calculation ourselves. That's why we have a spreadsheet. So we'll say equals whatever. Well, what do we want to do? Well, let's just write the formula and put the equals sign in afterwards. So if we look at B4, so it's B4. You see how B and 4 are highlighted. So we're going to say it's going to be B4 star 6, because in 10 seconds happens 6 times in a minute. Okay, so let's put an equals sign in front of that. So there's our formula. Put an equals sign in front of that. Now we get it. There's our formula. And when we enter it, we see it calculated 60 for us. Okay, so now let's copy that formula. So if we copy that formula, we get under 1 beat per minute, 2 beats per minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, so let's imagine that after a minute, our heart rate's gone up to 15 beats per second. Okay, and then we see how the calculation gets made automatically. After 2 minutes, it goes up a little bit more, 18 minutes. And then at 5 minutes, it goes up to 20 beats per minute. And then at 10 minutes, so then we go over to at 10 minutes. So now a lot of times your heart really gets up. So let's suppose it's gotten up to 22 when you measure. Okay. And then finally, last at 15, maybe that's when you're gonna level out. So let's say it's just 23. Okay, and so my heart rate got up to 138. So we're going to do that for each activity. Okay, so it's resting heart rate. So So we've got our formula there, so we propagate it down to the other 3. We say, okay, we're going to put that formula in. At rest, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, it'll do the calculation for us. 10 minutes. Oops, that was wrong, right? So that was the data. It's the formula that we want to propagate. Propagate that formula. Okay, so let's suppose that I went and I said, okay, I'm going to skip rope. So I started out, same resting heartbeat. But this time, after a minute, you can imagine your heart rate is a lot higher. So I'm already up to 18. After 2 minutes, I'm already up to 22. Okay, hopefully I'm still standing after this. After 5 minutes I've getting really high levels, right? 22. Have to be careful, might have to stop, right? It's so high for me. After 10 minutes, I'm exhausted in a heap. But let's imagine that I had to rest because I'm at my, but we'll just put the scenario, I get up to 30, so now I'm over my recommended heartbeat level. And now I'm laying on the ground, so my heart rate is down to 25, 150. Let's take another strenuous exercise, walking stairs. Okay, so we start at that basic rate. After a minute, not quite as steep, so we'll say we're at 16, so we're at 96 beats per minute. After 2 minutes, we take our pulse. Remember, you should just try and keep doing the activity while you take it, so you need somebody to be timing you when you do this. So let's say we're at 20, 2 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, we're at 22, so we're getting up there. After 10 minutes, we're at 24, 144, and after we get back up to 6. Okay, so now we've collected data for 3 activities. So let's see if we can make a graph from this. And this is a little bit tricky one because you want to take the beats per minute, but you don't want to take this part, the beats. So we'll see if we can figure a way out to do that. So what I'm trying is to hide the columns that have how many beats in 10 seconds. Right, so I'm hiding those columns, and I'm just using the columns that have the beats per minute. So now we're hoping that we can make a chart from this. So if we select this data, and we say insert, oh, that didn't work. Just remember, don't have to fear. It doesn't look like it's letting us select so easily that way. So let's see if we can do it this way. And we say insert chart. And so this would definitely be a chart that we could use. Okay, so it compares walking, skipping rope, and stairs. And you can kind of see a pattern there. Might be another kind of chart that we could use. Maybe a line chart. So the line chart is kind of a nice representation as well. So I like the line chart, so let's insert that one. And then remember, you have that option to insert to its own sheet.